This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
It's precisely 1:15. This is the news on Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News is edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Sabrina Zawahir. First, the headlines. The President says that the fundamental policy of the government is to eliminate poverty. Sri Lanka expects an economic growth of 5% this year. No COVID-related deaths reported by this morning. A suspect arrested with gold worth more than 220 million rupees at the Bandaranaike International Airport. And in world news, Italy begins strict Easter lockdown. And in sports, Beach Soccer Championship 2021 kicks off in Hambantota. Now the local news in detail. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that the fundamental policy of the government is to eliminate poverty. While attending the 17th Gama Samaga Pilisandara program today, the President said that the government will always give prominence to rural people. The program is now taking place at Vaunia Vedivaitikal Bogaswava school premises. Speaking on the occasion, the President said many people do not have an understanding about the problems of the poor people. The President pointed out that when he was preparing to give the land ownership to the people living in their traditional lands, fake news is being spread stating he is destroying forests. The President said that officials in the wildlife, forest conservation, agriculture and environment sectors are working for the public. Therefore, the President said all of them should pay their attention to the problems faced by the people. President Rajapaksa said that certain organized groups are spreading false propaganda against him and the government. The President said that the government has launched a program to develop 100,000 roads. 5,000 tanks are being renovated. Attention has been paid on renovating small and medium-scale irrigation schemes. Steps will be taken to recruit those who have passed programs such as higher diploma courses to meet the shortage of teachers in remote areas. The President said that the Education Ministry has taken a policy decision in this regard. The President emphasized, along with the presidential statement, that he would continue to rule the country based on the aspirations of the people who elected him while protecting them. State Minister Ajit Niwad Cabral says that an economic growth of 5% is expected this year. He told SLBC that new projects and investments are needed for a rapid development of the country. He said that essential institutions such as the Paddy Marketing Board have been made by the previous government. The present government has taken steps to strengthen the economy by reorganizing such institutions. State Minister Cabral pointed out when 103 countries did not get any type of COVID vaccine, Sri Lanka received stocks of vaccines due to diplomatic relations of the present state leaders. He said that housing loan interest rate has been reduced to 8% from 17%. He added that government has also introduced loans on concessionary interest rates to revive the collapsed business ventures due to the pandemic. 211 COVID patients have been found by this morning. 183 of them have been found locally. The highest number of them, which is 35, have been reported from the Gampaha district. 93,127 COVID patients have been detected from the country so far. 89,700 out of them have completely recovered from the virus. No COVID-related deaths have been reported by this morning. 9,050 persons are under quarantine and 96 centers maintained by the 3 armed forces. A janitorial worker at the Bandaranaike International Airport has been arrested with 17 kilograms of gold worth more than 220 million rupees by the customs officers. He has attempted to smuggle out the gold from the BIA through the disposal channel. It is suspected that the gold was brought from Dubai and handed over to the airport janitorial worker by an unknown person or party to be smuggled out of the airport. The United National Party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe says the UNP will appoint new organisers starting from May this year. Addressing a meeting with lawyers at party headquarters Sirikotha, Mr. Wickremesinghe said the party will give priority to women, businessmen and other professionals as organisers. He said they will go for a reorganisation program which is similar to one which was done prior to 1977 by then UNP leader, late President J.R. Jayawardena. This news is brought to you by Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life.
Continuing local news, police in an island-wide operation to minimize motorcycle accidents have apprehended 8,957 people who are involved in various offences. Police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said the operation commenced from March 31st and continued until today. 295 motorcycles have been taken under police custody during the operations carried out from 31st of March to 1st April. The police media spokesman said the motorcycles had various defects. During the period, 264 motorcyclists were also arrested. The remains of retired Bishop of Mannar Diocesan Royapu Joseph are placed at the Mannar Diocese. The body of the bishop will be taken from the bishop's residence to St. Sebastian's Cathedral in Mannar tomorrow at 3 p.m. The remains will be kept for the public to pay their respect until 2 o'clock on Monday. It will be followed by a joint condolence service by the bishops at 3 p.m. on that day, and thereafter the body will be laid to rest at the bishop's cathedral. A grand parade will convey 22 ancient Egyptian royal mummies in specially designed capsules across the capital Cairo today to a new museum home where they can be displayed in greater splendor. The convoy will transport 18 kings and 4 queens from the Egyptian Museum to the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization. Authorities are shutting down roads along the Nile for the elaborate ceremony. Each mummy will be placed in a special capsule followed with nitrogen to ensure protection. Chairman of the Nellore Pradeshiya Sabha, MIG Sunil, says that no road is built across the Singharaja forest. He said that trees are not removed from the forest for development activities. He said that Lankagama Road was built according to requests made to the president by the people in the area. He said that communication issue in the area has also been solved. With that, we conclude the local news. The main news story follows.
Introducing Speed Investment with Sri Lanka Insurance, the only insurance policy that increases your sum assured by 5% every year for the same premium amount. You also get a bonus payment at maturity. What better plan to have when you can invest now and relax later? The Speed Investment Plan from Sri Lanka Insurance. Give a high five to life. Sri Lanka Insurance. Like a father, like a mother.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that more than 12,000 police officers and armed forces and personnel who have been deployed to cover all churches in Sri Lanka for the Easter Sunday service. He said that the special security arrangement has been implemented following a circular issued by the IGP. 9,365 officers from police and STF have been deployed for duty, while 2,522 members of the three armed forces will be patrolling to provide security. That was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
In Watchlight, the Ministry of Education has decided to get public proposals and views on education. The public can do so by logging into the Ministry's official website www.moe.gov.lk. The objective is to prepare a national education reform framework for a qualitative education system. That came to you in Watchlight. A bulletin of world news follows.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polywasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011-206-300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
The headlines of the world news. Italy begins strict Easter lockdown. Children take center stage at Pope's scaled-back Good Friday service. Taiwan says European countries helping with submarine project. The world news now in detail. Italy has entered a strict 3-day lockdown to try and prevent a surge in COVID-19 cases over Easter. All regions are now in the red zone, the highest tier of restrictions, as the country battles a third wave with about 20,000 new cases a day. Non-essential movement is banned, but people are allowed to have an Easter meal in their homes with 2 others. Churches are also open, but worshippers are being told to attend services within their own regions. For the second year, Pope Francis will deliver his Easter message to an empty St. Peter's Square. Pope Francis presided at a scaled-back Way of the Cross service held in an empty St. Peter's Square yesterday due to coronavirus restrictions, listening as children recounted their fears and dreams. It was the second consecutive year that the Via Crucis procession, commemorating the last hours in Jesus' life, was not held at Rome's ancient Colosseum since the modern-day Easter tradition was reintroduced by Pope Paul VI in 1964. European countries are providing help for Taiwan's indigenous submarine project, the island's defense ministry said in a rare admission that the sensitive program is not getting assistance solely from the United States. Taiwan, which China claims as its own territory, has worked for years to revamp its submarine force, some of which dates back to the World War II. It is no match for China's fleet, which includes vessels capable of launching nuclear weapons. That ends World News. Prior to concluding, the headlines of the World News once again. Italy begins strict Easter lockdown. Children take center stage at Pope's scaled-back Good Friday service. Taiwan says European countries helping with submarine project. With that, we conclude the World News. The development news follows.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polywasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011-206-300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News is brought to you by CIB. Nivea offer valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment during 1st to 10th April. 20% discount for bank card holders. Our place, our product. CIB.
government has focused on developing the village of Hasalaka-Madakale, which is the most difficult area in the Kandy district. This village development program is being implemented under the guidance of Kandy District Secretary Chandana Tennakone in line with the Gama Samaga Pilisantara program. District Secretary Tennakone recently visited the village to inquire about the development of the village in view of the difficulties prevailing in the village. That was the development news. Next is the sports news.
Development news was brought to you by CIB Nivea offer valuable gift vouchers for every bill payment during 1st to 10th April. 20% discount for bank card holders. Our place, our product. CIB.
It's a look at the sports news now. It's football. Beach Soccer Championship 2021 kicks off on the beaches of Hambantota today under the aegis of the sports governing body, Sri Lanka Football. The main aim of this championship is to promote beach soccer around the island and to identify and develop new talent for the Sri Lanka Beach Soccer National Squad. This will be the first of 4 beach soccer championships, with the matches to be played in Valley Vituttarai Kalamune and Negombo tentatively. The first leg of the beach soccer tournament will be played in Hambantota among 12 teams. Next is motor racing. Sri Lanka Army, together with Motor Racing Association, will conduct Kukuleganga Speed Hill Climb on 10th and 11th April at the newly built motor racing track at Kukuleganga Army Camp. Army Motor Sports Committee President Major General Vasanta Madola said the Speed Hill Climb consists of 10 motorcycle events and 17 motor car events. In addition, 4 events for the old motor cars will be made, adding more colour and glitter. And in cricket, finally, Pakistan secured a last ball victory over South Africa to win the first one-day international by 3 wickets. Captain Baba Azam set the foundation for the visitors' victory with 103 of 104 balls, and Imamul Haq added 70 as Pakistan posted 274 for 7 in reply to South Africa's 273 for 6. 3 quick wickets for Amir Nokia pegged Pakistan back as their chase tumbled to 203 for 5. Before Mohammad Rizwan and Shadab Khan put them back in charge. They needed 3 runs from the final over, with Fahim Ashraf scoring a single off a wide delivery for the win. That was the sports news. Next up is the business news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka tourism has been recognized for its innovative biobubble concept by the International Trade Tourism Bos Berlin, which is one of the largest trade shows in the world. Sri Lanka was featured on the ITB Berlin e-magazine and web portal, which highlighted the nation's innovative implementation of the biobubble. The magazine reported that whilst other countries were puzzled over quarantine, closed borders and limited visits, the introduction of the novel concept has encouraged tourist travels to Sri Lanka in a safe and secure manner. That was business news. Next up is the economic news.
Business news. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
In economic news, the Cabinet has approved a proposal to allocate 16 land plots in 9 industrial estates under the Ministry of Industries for investors to set up new industries. The 9 industrial estates are Nalanda Industrial Park in Matale, Bata Industrial Estate in Hambantota, Karandeniya Industrial Estate in Galle, Udukawa Industrial Estate in Matara, Ambilipitiya Industrial Estate, Kalutara Industrial Estate, Batikalo Industrial Estate and Navagampura Industrial Estate in Ampara. The 16 land plots were given to investors on 35-year lease basis with no rights to transfer the land plots to third parties. That was economic news.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Finally, it's a look at the weather report. The Met Department says, except for a few showers in Western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts, mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in central, Sabaragamuwa and western provinces during the morning. Fairly strong gusty winds up to 40 km per hour can be expected in northern and northwestern provinces. That was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Prior to concluding this bulletin of news, the headlines once again. The President says that the fundamental policy of the government is to eliminate poverty. Sri Lanka expects an economic growth of 5% this year. No COVID-related deaths reported by this morning. A suspect arrested with gold worth more than 220 million rupees at the Bandaranayake International Airport. With that, we conclude the news, and over to my friend and certainly yours, who's all geared up to keep you entertained with a wonderful collection of music indeed. Over to you, Niranjan.